Hello and welcome to what I believe will be episode 23 of the Bad Psychics podcast, but also the numbers keep changing, so who knows. This is our episode, the first of two episodes covering dancing shows from either side of the pond with two Brits, two Americans, and we'll see how that goes. But this one is about strictly 2025, and I'm joined by these three idiots. First of all, I predict she is most likely to get overexcitable whilst talking with her hands and fall out of her chair. It's Cass. How you doing, Cass?
I'm good. That wasn't your best one for me because I don't generally fall out of my chair. I usually jolt out of my chair
No.
to go and do something.
Yes, but Cass, it's a
So-
reference to Strictly things. I realise you're not up on the law, but the people who watch Strictly will understand that.
Not your best, but it's
Going
okay.
the level here.
Okay, right, fine. I predict he's most likely to declare something a complete dance disaster, darling. It's Dizzy.
I wouldn't say that, but okay.
Well, it's just because disaster. I was just... Okay, fine.
You've struggled here, Z. You've really struggled here.
Everyone's a critic today. And
for 2.
yeah, and finally, I predict he learned all of his dance moves from Paul Merson. It's Jeter.
Hopefully I'm as good as he is on the pitch.
I mean, doubtful.
Can't be that hard, surely.
I mean, considering he was drunk for most of his career, maybe. But yes, we are covering Strictly 2025 today. One of the three panelists is working and trying not to let us see, and the other two are trying to wrangle their pets and not let us see. Cass has already deviated out of the middle of shot.
I had... Okay, your favorite cat came to visit.
Hello, Iro.
Beautiful.
For what it's worth, I'd prefer no reference of me working. I don't want to get in trouble about work.
Okay, he was working, and that's why this is delayed. Yes, very much.
Thanks.
So, anyway, we are going to switch to the spreadsheet with a whole. This episode is a mess. Right, I've switched across. Oh, right. Why has that happened? Okay, so live adjusting of the second screen because it had gone wrong, and I have no idea why.
Here.
But-
It's fine. I gotta take off my sweater because it's too hot.
Okay, that's awesome. No, oh god,
What?
I've just broken things. It's fine. I can fix them. It's all good. I can fix them. No, I can't. Yes, I can. Oh god. Oh no, that's made it worse. Okay. I'm just gonna keep this in. I can't even be bothered. It's fine.
I thought pre-recording was a mess.
Yeah. Oh dear. Right. So, we've got two sheets today to go through. The first one, we are recording this before we know who any of the celebrities are getting paired with. So we're gonna do our best to predict some pairings and where they'll finish. Basically, you get points for getting the right pairing, and also you lose points because you don't want points in this episode. You lose points for getting pairing because points are bad. You gain points for every position you are out on each celebrity's finishing placement. So basically, points bad, minus points good. Remember that, otherwise this episode might confuse some of you. I suspect that this bit of the episode will be the bit that takes the longest, and then we'll breeze through the miscellaneous bit because that's much easier. So first of all, let's look and see who everybody has predicted to finish last in this year's series. Okay, interesting. We've got a pair of Ross and Karens. So Dizzy and I on the same page. We've got a Ross with Lauren, and we've got Alex with Carlos. I mean, GT, you're the odd one out. Why is Alex coming last? Why have you paired her with Carlos?
Yeah, to be honest, my bottom, like I have a slew of probably like 3 or 4 people in a row that I wasn't quite sure on. I think that they'll all go early, but I wasn't quite sure who would go early. I'm not as familiar with some of these people as I will be with the American version of the show. So I just kind of looked at it and I went, I don't know, I just have a feeling that Ross might be able to squeak by for, and Ross and some of the other people who I think will go early. I just kind of was like, they might be able to squeak by for 1 or 2 episodes, and just kind of had to throw a dart at a dartboard for who would be first boot.
Fair enough.
You threw the wrong dart, by the way. If you're familiar with Alex Kingston at all, you threw the wrong dart.
Like, Alex Kingston, I think, is one of the few, like, international level people that I was confident.
I am familiar with her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cass, you have gone for Ross last like the rest of us. You've put him with Lauren. Right. I'm going to ask now so that I know whether to bother coming to you on this much later. Is there any logic to the dance partners you've given to people?
Mostly I went with, I kind of did, I did some research. I actually, like, for once,
Okay.
I was like, okay, because I don't know anything about Strictly Come, so I wanted to make sure that I had, like, somewhat of a knowledge base. Based on the pros that I saw, Lauren didn't seem like somebody who's done particularly well, and she's a little bit older, so it made sense to pair her with somebody who is probably not gonna who is being predicted to not go very far.
Okay, perfect.
So.
That makes sense. Dizzy, you've gone for the same as me with Ross and Karen. I'm going to let you speak, and then I don't need to if our logic is the same.
Well, I'll say now that I very much threw darts with a blindfold for preparing people up. I didn't know.
Yes.
Not a clue.
Okay, in which fine. I mean,
I know some of them, but I don't know a lot of them by name. So, Karen, ironically, is one of them that I at least vaguely knew. But the ones that I've put it this way, the ones I've put higher up are the ones that I recognise better.
okay.
And I've paired them with the celebrities that I think are going to do well.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
Noted.
As for Ross, I don't think he's going to be very good.
No.
And I also think paired with, I'd be surprised if he is if he got lots of votes coming in either, and it's why I think he'd maybe be first to go.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ross is arguably the least UK famous of the contestants, so I doubt he's got a big voting base. The reason I gave him Karen is that because Karen's been around for a while and is getting a little bit older, recent years she keeps getting given like the joke act. She's become the female Anton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought. That's why that one I did purposefully do.
Yes.
But the majority, the general trend beyond this is.
Yes. And I don't think Ross is going to be as entertaining as Paul Merson, so I don't think Karen's making it very fun. But we'll see. Let's move on to 14th. And okay, so we're all over the place here. I mean, we've covered Ross, so I mean, I'll go to Gita first again. Gita, you've put Ross with Alexis, one of the two new dancers. Any particular reason?
I was just kind of looking at it, and similar to what you all discussed on the front of, like, you know, typically some of the more higher profile celebrities or the celebrities that are more tipped to win will be put with some of the more reputable pros. And I know that this is the case with Dancing with the Stars, that at times your first couple seasons, you kind of have to earn your stripes a little bit. And I kind of looked at it and I went, well, as a new pro, there's a chance that this could be a sort of pairing that just kind of gets plunked together as a result of who's popular, who isn't, etc.
Dizzy, you have put Karen. Oh, I'm genuinely not sure if it's Carney or Kearney. I think it's Carney.
I think it's Carney.
Okay.
I think that's what. I don't know.
You've put her with Neil. Why?
Yeah, the pro hasn't got much thought into it.
Okay.
I think I was. Yeah. As for her, I don't know. I don't know. I find it hard to know how good she would be. I don't know, but I think she might struggle for votes.
Okay.
It's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't think. How do I put it? Like, she's from the football community that are not, I wouldn't say strictly in football go hand in hand as it is as a general trend, but also she's quite polarizing as well. So I'm struggling to see where votes will come for her.
Okay. Cass, you have put Tom with Amy. I'll come on to my feelings about Tom more later, but I really hope that they don't put him with poor Amy because she has suffered enough. But why did you put those two together?
Yeah, so Tom, I mean, honestly, like, I did do some research on, like, the background of the contestants. In articles I read, like, he's not predicted to make it very far. Like, he's somewhere in the last 5 is what people are saying. And I agree with that because, first of all, he's a chubbier contestant that typically in any dancing show, that's probably not gonna end well for you. But also, I mean, it sounds like he's not known for being particularly healthy in his lifestyle either. And so I was like, yeah, he just feels like somebody who is going to annoy people. And so I don't think he's going to make it very far. Amy it's just the age, and she seems feisty, which, like, just based on, like, her look. So she seemed like a good fit for somebody who, in my opinion, just my base guess, seems to have a rather obnoxious personality.
Oh, no, you're bang on with your assessment of Tom. We'll go into him more later. Amy, though, is, like, the sweetest. So
Really?
yeah, and she's just she's coming back to this series having just beaten cancer for the 2nd time. So I am pretty sure they will not give her Tom, because I don't. Well,
she has suffered enough.
Exactly. Yes. I have put Stefan Dennis with Javita. Javita is the shortest of the female dancers. She's 5'0", and Stefan is one of the shorter men. And I think Javita hasn't had the best partners since she won with Hamza Yassin. Hamza Yassin also disproving Cass's point about slightly bigger built contestants. I will be sending Cass their salsa later.
There's slightly bigger contestants, and then there's Tom.
No,
Okay.
I will show you the video, one of the videos of Hamza later. Dizzy knows the one I'm talking about. You would not expect what he's capable of if you see his size.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Right, let's move on to 13th place, and we've got. Okay, interesting. I mean, I will quickly say that weirdly, I have another pairing match with Dizzy. I have gone for Karen and Neil. Now, not
You
much
can
is
explain
known.
why I put it, Z.
Yeah. Not much is known about Karen's personal life. She's one of the ones that to me might end up with the same-sex pairing, might not. Literally, you try and look it up. There's very, very little to go on. She's very private about her private life. That means to me, if she decides to continue being private, she's probably more likely to want a male partner, even if she is part of the LGBTQ community. The reason I've gone with Neil is because I thought they're a reasonable height matchup. Neil generally doesn't get the better contestants, and I'm not expecting Karen to do brilliantly. And finally, I feel like Karen, England international, it just made sense to me to partner her with like one of the English dancers. And so that was the matchup there. Then we've got two Stefans. So, I mean, I've covered my thoughts on Stefan. First of all, Dizzy, you've gone for Stefan with Amy. Any logic?
Well, he's one of the older contestants, and I think that he'll get through a couple of weeks. But I don't think he's going to be enough of a comedy act to kind of survive much further than that. The partnership, I didn't know.
Fair enough. Now, Jeter and I, we've already discussed this one. Jeter asked me to check through his picks later and said he wouldn't change them. He's been a man of his word. Jeter, would you like to explain why I found you pairing Stefan and Nadia hilarious?
I can, although I've actually Googled it and it's not as big of an issue as you stated it was. So you've lied to me a bit here, so I'm glad I've stuck with my guns.
I haven't.
Stefan, I've just Googled it. Stefan is 5'9".
He's 5'8.5".
Well, he's listed when I Googled him at 5'9". And Nadia, you said she's 6 foot. I just Googled her and it says 5'8", which is a notable difference.
I have found multiple sources saying that Nadia was 6 foot, but fine. Maybe it's less funny than I thought it was. I wasn't trying to wind you up, though. That was I've based my opinions on who Nadia's going with on thinking Nadia's 6 foot. So if that's wrong, I fucked it.
Let's go. Yeah, but it was similar to what everyone said on Stefan. You know, I think we have a similar group of people near the bottom, just as far as people that I think could or could not do well. And it was just kind of another case of like finding someone who I thought might fit within who was there. But yeah, the pairing just kind of vibes-wise seemed like it was right.
Okay. And then Cats, I'm going to say that this could be a little controversial to have Harry. I'm not going to try and say his surname. We'll call him Harry Nitro because he's Nitro on Gladiators. Why have you put him so low? Because I want to see what your research found and I will possibly offer a counterpoint.
So actually, he's one that I definitely think I could be wrong on. I think he'll probably actually end up maybe a little bit further up, but I just didn't know where else to put him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Higher?
So he probably will do better than I thought. Like I again, like I'm predicting that I'm probably wrong about this one, but I also don't know like if he has a huge fan base and if he's known for mostly athletic things. A lot of times that backfires on dancing shows. So that was kind of my logic for putting him towards the back of the pack. As far as putting him with Nadia, I mean, I just thought they'd be a really pretty pairing. Like, honestly, visually, they would just look really pretty together. That was pretty much my... And he seemed decently tall. I don't know if I'm right about
5'11",
that, but
I believe.
Yeah, and so I think, like, she seemed tall. I didn't look it up, but, like, that was not a consideration. It was more, she seems like a decent dancer. He seems like he could be a decent dancer. And they would be really attractive together. So, pretty.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
something that now you've said that, I know that you definitely didn't spot on your research. So every year, as Dizzy will know and Gita might, they do a Strictly Christmas special where they invite people who have not been on a full season to do one dance, Christmas themed. It always goes out just after lunch on Christmas Day. And Harry was on last year's. He danced at that point with Nancy, but they don't generally let you keep your partner if you come back. And he was pretty good. Don't get me wrong, they always overmark the Christmas ones because Christmas cheer and everything. But of the 6 competitors, he came joint second. He did a street commercial dance and scored 37 out of 40. I would say, as I say, overmarked because of Christmas and Christmas spirit and everything. But I think he will at least be solid. I don't know if he'll be great, but he'll at least be solid. We've got...
And I did see that. To be honest, the other reason that he's so far back is I kind of forgot he existed until I was looking, who have I not put on the list yet? That's kind of what happened there, is because I did see that, and I just forgot about him, until towards the end. So I was like, screw this, I might be wrong about it, but, like, close enough.
Fair enough. I will say, Cass and I discussed her being on this episode. Cass's sole aim is to, like, beat anybody at all at anything.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Right.
It's a good possibility.
12th spot. Okay. Cheetah, you've put Karen with Johannes. Why?
I don't know. It just kind of seemed to me. I explained this to you earlier, but I think a lot of my pairings, I was kind of just going off of like the vibes that I was getting from people. And I thought that when I was like kind of looking at their 2 backgrounds, I thought that it like Johannes might be an interesting person that would be able to like, when I was looking at the various pros, especially the male pros that I had left, I was kind of like, I feel like he would be potentially really good at bringing the best out of her time on the show.
Okay, interesting. I again think, for height reasons, this is quite unlikely, because Jojo is the tallest male pro, and Karen is the second shortest female contestant this year. So
Dancing with the Stars did it.
Yes, yeah. It's possible. It's more likely that way round than if the woman's taller.
The female being 5 inches taller.
Yes, which I still maintain might happen with Stefan and Nadia if that happened. Right, we've got a pair of Lubas as the pro, but Dizzy, you've put Luba with Tom.
I don't know why.
Okay,
I think she might have been one of the last pros left, and I just put her name.
Okay, perfect.
To be honest.
All good. And Cass, you have put Chris with Luba.
Yeah, he does not come across as like the most graceful gentleman, so I put him towards the back. Luba just made sense as far as like age-ish. Like they seem like they're similar ages, and I don't think he's gonna do super well. And it doesn't seem like she's got a history of doing super well as with her pairings either. So it seemed like it made sense.
Okay, perfect. I have gone for Jimmy with Amy. I think Amy will probably not get one of the very best contestants this year, because I think last year when she had to withdraw, part of the reason she was getting quite tired was because JB was very, very good. I think Jimmy will be professional. I think his sports background will make him want to be competitive and perfectionist, but I don't think he'll be amazing, which makes me think he'll be a good fit for Amy. Let's move on to 11th place. If my mouse wants to work, there we go. Right. Now this one's an interesting one. I'm looking forward to seeing what Dizzy does with one of these, but he's not let her appear yet. Balvinda, really difficult to know what's going to happen with her, because her private life is very, very private. I have no idea about her as Balvinda. However, her character in EastEnders started off married to a man and is now in a lesbian relationship. Is she a lesbian in real life? Is that just a role? Equally, I don't know whether this is going to be a same-sex pairing or not. I've decided to guess that it will be, and I've put her with Katya. And the reason I've put her with Katya is ever since Katya got caught making out with her partner despite being married, they tend to put her with people that she will not be able to cope up with. Generally, she's kept away from attractive men. And the only series since that she wasn't, there were rumours that she was bonking him as well. So Cat should be horny, and maybe that will help. Gita, you've also gone for Balvinda. You've put her with Kai.
Yeah, I think Balvinder's performance will be a bit of a wild card. Like, I could see... we'll get to this, but I think that there's like a clear kind of top 5, 6 people that I'm expecting will be a class above. Just a suspicion, but I think that there will be kind of a couple different tiers. And for me, this is kind of the start of my next tier. And Balvinder was just the one that I was least confident in her ability to move up and down within the tier. So I decided to go near the bottom. But I could totally see a world where, especially being part of a soap and having a relatively consistent fan base, could totally see her finishing kind of 6th, 7th territory. And Kai, as far as a pro went, I don't know. I just kind of, once again, most of it was going off of vibes, but I just kind of thought that, looking at it, I thought that they'd be a good fit.
Okay, perfect. Then we have a pair of Jimmys. Dizzy, you've put Jimmy with Katya. Is that because you don't think Katya will try and sleep with Jimmy?
No, I don't think she'll sleep with Jimmy, no. Well, just to say yes. But I was aware that of her history. So I did think it maybe be logical to put her with like an older contestant.
Yes.
Whoever it would be, could be one of several.
Yes.
So that one did have a very slight ounce of logic to it. I feel like Jimmy's in the same category as Stefan. He might be a tiny bit better.
Okay.
And he might be a little bit more comedy. And he might get a bit further.
Fair.
Is kind of what I'm thinking.
Reasonable. Very reasonable. Cass, you've also put Jimmy in 11th. You've put him with Javita. Any particular reason for either part?
Yeah, my my logic with Jimmy was pretty similar to Dizzy's. I just felt like I don't think he's gonna be terrible. I don't think he's gonna be great either, and I think he'll have a decent fan base, but not a huge one. Um, and I mean, Joita, she just seems like a solid dancer, so that's about it.
Okay, perfect. I think also, like, Javita does tend to have to go with one of the shorter men, and Jimmy's not particularly tall, so that could work. Right, up into 10th place. Let's see what we've got. Oh, no two names the same. Right, I mean, Cass, I'll come straight back to you. You've got Karen in 10th, and you've paired her with my favourite of the male pros, Vito. Why have you put them together?
Honestly, he seemed I literally just went looks wise, like they seemed like maybe they'd be a good pair. Looks wise, yeah, like she seems like somebody. I don't think she's gonna be the worst, but I don't think she's gonna do the greatest. So I put her further towards the back, but not necessarily all the way in the back. Stop. Tiny turd muffin, stop it. Take your Kit Kat and go.
Fair. You know, I will say, I think genuinely, if anybody could deliver Vito and Gorka to my house, I'd be very, very grateful. Both beautiful, beautiful men. I have said that Vicky will finish 10th, paired with Julian. I'm super unsure about Vicky. I can see it very much going either way. She's a potential winner. She's also a potential first boot. Her background, slightly divisive. Came from very, very, very trashy reality TV. Has become more of a TV personality. Is popular in some circles. And then Julian is one of the new pros. I felt like Vicky, I could just picture her being paired up with an Australian. I think an Australian and a Geordie just somehow seems to make sense in my head. And I also think having checked heights, it could work. Dizzy, you've... I was wondering what you would do, Balvinda. You have paired Balvinda with Michelle. Any particular reason?
I mean, I didn't really know who to put her with, but I thought if there was a female contestant that was going to be with a female partner, the highest odds was going to be Balvinder I think for the reason that the producers would really probably like the idea of it, considering her character on the BBC soap.
Yeah.
I think is where my logic comes from it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, when I did this, and then because I did it a few hours ago, I think I thought I'd actually put Balvinder higher than that, but clearly
Okay.
not.
Well, hopefully you haven't put her twice, because that would be really troubling. But
I am concerned that I've put a pro twice. There is a chance,
okay.
but we'll find out as we go if I've done that.
We also have our third Tom appearance. Gita, you have put Tom with Karen Hauer. Any particular logic?
Yeah, when I was going through this, my first gut reaction, very similar to what I think some other people have spoken about, I considered putting Tom a bit lower. I do think Tom will have a fan base, for better or worse. And I think that taking someone who at times can be a bit divisive, and putting them with a longer standing pro seems to be a smarter casting decision. So I didn't want to, put this in a situation where like Tom is with a brand new pro who's never had it happen before, because we've seen the last couple years on Dancing with the Stars that didn't really go well. Riley had a tough time with Harry Jowsey first season. Ezra had a tough time with Anna Delvey last season. So I was kind of hoping that, by taking someone who might be a little bit more complicated in terms of how people, like, who would want to work with them, taking someone who's been around for a little bit longer seemed like the way that it might work out.
Okay. Right, into single digits now. We move to 9th. And okay, big variance here. I mean, cheers, Ross, stick with you. You are our final mention of Jimmy for this section. You have him coming 9th, and you paired him with Luba.
Yeah, to be honest, I think for me the thought was with Jimmy. As I said, there's kind of sections, and I could see, as has been discussed, that for a certain point, unless you are a very good dancer, it becomes about your entertainment value and whether people enjoy having you there. It worked last season fairly well for Paul Merson, and I could see a similar sort of trend working this year. So I just kind of went, I thought Jimmy might be good. Jimmy's a bit of a wild card for me. This was about as high as I was willing to go. And yeah, Lubo was once again just kind of a vibe space pick.
Okay, perfect. Dizzy, you've gone for Alex Kingston to finish 9th, and you've paired her with Jojo.
Yeah, I struggled with what to do with Alex. I didn't really know. I felt kind of conflicted. There were several positions I could have put her in, and I kind of was looking, and I was like, I think I'll just put her in the middle.
Okay.
Because that does the least damage. But I don't know. She might end up, even if she's really good, she might end up being one of those contestants that falls foul of getting forgotten and not getting the votes.
Okay.
Because there's always one that's really good that can get forgotten, and it might be her.
Fair enough. Cass, you're the highest placement for Stefan, and you've partnered him with Michelle Tsiakis. Any logic?
Michelle, I mean, it just seemed like a decent fit. I have no idea. There was not a lot of logic with the pro. With Stefan, I put him in the single digits because even though he's older, he actually has like a pretty decent dance background, and like I guess like somebody from that plays his brother or something on the soap he's on did really well on this show. So it sounds like he's being predicted by other places to go decently high. So I think his age is what's keeping him further back for me, but I do think he'll have the dance background that will carry him into the singles.
Yeah, I do think that's possible. Stefan has a bit of a musical theatre background, but we have seen a lot of musical theatre pros come across, think they'll be really good because they've got dance experience, and basically find out that ballroom and Latin is so different that they know nothing. But we'll see which way it goes for Stefan. I have gone for Chris and Nadia. Logic being, Chris is this year's tallest contestant. He is 6'2". Nadia, even if she's not 6 foot like I think she is, she definitely is one of the tallest of the female pros. Hence why she was paired up with Dan Walker a few years back, and I think he's about 6'7", I want to say. I should know better because I have met him, but I don't. But yeah, I see Chris as probably being competent with his feet. You know, he would have used them a lot in rugby, but it's where I suspect he'll be one of those that can't quite manage the frame as easily because he's not used to this kind of smaller, more delicate movements. He's used to shoving big, hairy men around. So, on to the exact midpoint, which is 8th. Again, if my mouse would work, that would be wonderful. Interesting. We have an exact pair from Jeter and Dizzy. Both of you have said that Vicky will come 8th. Both of you have paired Vicky with Aliash. Did you discuss this? Is there some logic that I'm not aware of? How have you both come to this?
You can go first, Izzy.
Well, right. I kind of, regarding Vicky, I find it difficult to know how good she's going to be. She's maybe the kind of one that might struggle at the start. Maybe she'll be one that, as you would call, improves constantly throughout. Who knows? But I kind of thought she comes from reality TV, as you've said. She won I'm a Celebrity, I believe.
Possibly, I don't know. You watch it.
What I remember, I'm pretty sure she won I'm a Celebrity.
I will do the
and
research.
It's obviously
yes, she did. She did. No, she did. I saw it on her bio. Yes,
it's like a very different. Well, not a very different, but like quite a different viewer base, and there will be a bit of overlap. But I think about the midway point might be where she's not going to get enough votes to go much further, unless the public fall in love with her. But I don't know. I'm not sure if she's going to be good enough for that to happen.
Okay.
As for the pro, one of the ones that I kind of knew, I thought maybe they'd be a good fit. That's really all I kind of thought.
Okay, perfect. Jeter, anything to add?
I feel like that really kind of hit pretty much everything that I was going to say on the head, to be honest. So,
excellent. Cass,
Great minds.
you have gone for George to finish 8th, and you've paired him with Lauren, despite the fact you've already paired Ross with Lauren.
Yeah. See, that's what happens when you procrastinate. Yeah, it also doesn't help that you can't see what you're putting down. That blackout thing does not help for
I
reading
just put
things.
it white while I'm doing it.
Babe.
Well, I do that
Yeah,
obviously if
I
nobody's
was
there.
just-
But
I was rushing though. To be fair. So I procrastinated this because of everything.
bonus
that's been going
points
on.
when
But-
Lauren's got two celebrities to dance with this season.
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't think that's what can I change it to somebody I know I haven't used? Is that
Well,
okay?
sure,
Rosalie?
hopefully there's only one that you've not used.
Yeah. I mean, there's 20 pros for 15 celebrities, which means 5 won't be getting any. So to have used one twice, somewhat impressive. But if you want to change one, then I will allow it.
Okay, I'm gonna change it to Diane because I don't think I'd pair Diane with anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think
Scenes
I
when
think they'll
Diane
be.
talks
I
up
actually. That would be hilarious, but like this one, I'm 99% sure I did not
Okay.
pair him with. Yeah, but like,
When-
no. So
Now you've changed that,
Oh.
could you please get your cursor off the screen?
I knew that was
No.
coming.
not happening. No.
Okay, you can just memorialize your mistake for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Did I get my cursor off the
Nope.
screen? I think I did.
It's still
Nope,
there.
it's still there.
It's
It's still there.
not?
There you
Okay, now
go.
it's gone. There we go.
There we go. I had to exit out and come back in. No, so freaking mess. Okay, no. This is what happens when you're a parent and your child does flips in your bed at night and you don't get enough sleep. That's the cost. Yes, you. I just made eye contact with said child.
Oh no, he's gonna spark. He's gonna think he can talk now.
Yeah, I know. He's looking at me and he's smiling and being cute, so that's a problem. No, so with George, I think that he seems like he could, like, he's very much a wild card to me. Like, I don't know that he has a ton of experience dancing. Probably has some, and he probably has a good fan base. So yeah, like, I feel like I put him somewhere in the middle tier because I think he'll do fine. I don't think he'll do the best. So
Okay, perfect. Third mention of Aliash in this particular situation, though, I've put him with Alex. My rationale is that I think Aliash would be a good teacher for Alex. As for putting her 8th, I genuinely do not have a Scooby where she finishes. I think it's possible she finishes higher, it's possible she finishes lower. I'm basically hedging my bets by putting her,
You've basically done what I did.
yeah, slap bang in the middle,
Almost.
and hope to, like, get as many points or not lose as many points as possible. Right. Moving on to 7th place. What have we got here? We have... Okay, right. I'm going to start with mine, which I've put Tom with Alexis. Now, here is my logic. Tom, to put it bluntly, bit of a right-wing grifter. And, like, you know, recently had dinner with JD Vance and was very proud of that fact. Yeah, Cass's face pulling exactly. Now, the reason I put him with Alexis, I'm going to do this delicately because if I don't, it could offend one of the 3 people I'm looking at. So Alexis, when I researched her, grew up in the Mormon church. Now,
yeah, I saw that coming.
if somebody is likely but not certain to probably not view somebody who thinks JD Vance is worth taking a photo of as not problematic, I would say there's a reasonable chance that an American from the Mormon church would feel that way. Even though, Cass, I am excluding you very much from this.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know it
Thank
doesn't
you.
apply to you, but I think even
No.
you can agree that there's a fair crossover between some right-wing views and
Yes.
Mormons.
Although, yeah, anyway, I do have an opinion about this particular scenario, but I'll hold it.
Okay, fair enough. Right. Well, Cass, you've gone for Vicky here. You've partnered her with my other wishful thinking lover in Gorka. Why have you put the 2 of them together?
Mostly because, like, she doesn't seem like somebody who's gonna go for a showmance, and he seems like he's happily married, and I feel like they'd be, like, he seems like a solid male to dance with her. I don't know. And honestly, Vicky could, I could be, like, Vicky is very much, she could go anywhere, so I don't know. As far as Alexis goes, I want to say this now, like, yes, she may have come from the Mormon community, but that does not mean that she is conservative at all, especially where she is, like, on a professional dancing show.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't disagree that it might be very, very flawed logic. I just basically had to find somebody that I thought...
You had to shoot, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, she might tolerate it better than others
Yeah.
because her family probably feels the same. But given that she's left that community, there might be a reason for it. So she's either going to be more tolerant or way less tolerant than somebody
Yeah, that's
than
fair.
somebody else.
That's
So
Dizzy, you've also gone for Alexis to finish 7th, but you've partnered her with Chris. Why will Chris, Robshaw, and Alexis be a pairing?
I don't know.
Fine, perfect. I'll move on. Gita, you've also gone for Chris here, so apparently, at least placement-wise, you and Dizzy thinking the same way. You've put Chris with Amy. Any logic?
Yeah, a little bit on both. I think Chris is a bit of a wild card. I could see a world where Chris goes home very early or does very, very well. Pairing-wise, I was kind of thinking, similar to what you kind of explained with the idea of, international players who have represented England. Amy is Welsh and obviously not the same, but considering the various nationalities of people who are on Strictly as pros, it felt a bit like having someone from the UK with Chris would make sense.
Yeah, not as if England and Wales are fierce rugby rivals at all. But it is very feasible. I should say I didn't add my full logic for Tom finishing 7th, by the way. I think that this is a cast that has been criticised by certain demographics as being a bit of a woke cast. Tom is very much not woke, and therefore I think there is a certain group of middle-aged
Facebook moms.
Middle-aged Facebook mums. Yes, exactly, Dizzy.
Episode title sorted.
That will view Tom potentially as their champion, and I think that he could go further than he deserves to, just by basically being like the anti-woke vote. But I also don't think he's going to be confident enough to go all the way on that alone. Let's move on to 6th. We have... okay, interesting. We've got a pair of pairs here. So, I mean, Cass and I have gone for Lavoie, coming 6th. I have put Lavoie with Kai. My logic is, on the last Christmas special, we had first ever drag queen participant on that, who ended up winning in Ace. And Kai was Tace's partner. I wondered whether basically Kai was having a little bit of a dummy run to see what going through a series partnering a drag queen was like. That could be very flawed logic. They might think anyone but Kai because Kai's already done it. I don't know. Cass, you've also gone Lavoie here, but you've partnered with Johannes.
yes, mostly because like the picture I saw of Johannes, he seemed like more flamboyant a little bit, like, and I think that's a good pairing for a drag queen because drag queens, they can have a masculine side when they want to, but they're also like very outwardly feminine. I think having a flamboyant man, like a slightly more flamboyant man, just paired well so that Lavoie can be as versatile as she wants to be.
Yes. I think that's very reasonable. Jojo definitely is flamboyant and is, to the best of my knowledge, the only openly gay male professional dancers. There's a couple of others that very probably are, but I've never discussed it as such. So I think that's a reasonable prediction. We then have a pair of Harrys from Dizzy and Jita. Jita, you've partnered Harry with Katia. I take it you aren't worried about her trying to cop off with another contestant.
No, it wasn't a worry. Plus, in one, I didn't really know that this was like a huge thing, but also, in the quick Google search that I did once you mentioned it, because I knew I'd paired them. Harry's pretty publicly married, and posts a lot about his wife and kid. So I have to think that if there's going to be, like that'd be a big scandal as opposed to just, a couple people who are single, with it being someone who's married with a kid who has family in the public eye. That would get really tricky, but I'm not worried about it. I think at the end of the day, for better or worse, I'm trusting everyone on this season to be professional about it. I'm sure it won't happen, but at least expecting the pros to be professionals about it. I think Harry is athletic, capable of finishing in a good position, and this just kind of felt like the right landing spot.
I mean, I will say the scandal and the nearly scandal involving Katya. The scandal involved was when she was married and Sean Walsh was in a very long-term relationship, like 5-6 years, and when it was with Adam Peaty, Katya wasn't married at that point, but Adam Peaty was. So I'm not necessarily sure that marriage. There is a reason that it's known as the Strictly Curse for the number of relationships that have broken down because of the show. Dizzy, you've put Harry with Nadia.
Yeah. I didn't really know. I kind of struggled figuring out, but I thought similar logic that he's athletic and might do well. So yeah.
Perfect. Right, next up we go on to our 5th place finishers and see what we've got. Dizzy and Jeter once again on the exact same wavelength. Meanwhile, Cass has gone for Lewis and Alexis, and I've gone for Harry and Michelle. I mean, I'll start quickly. I think a lot of the fans thought that Michelle was robbed last season. She was paired with Jamie Borthwick, and a lot of people thought that he shouldn't have gone home. I think they might make it up to Michelle this year because that was her first partner last year. I think they might make it up to her by giving her a good partner, and I suspect Harry will be decent. Cheetah, do you want to start on Ellie and Nikita, and we can find out if there's any reason why Izzy disagrees?
So I really went back and forth on who Nikita would be with. When I think of the pros on Strictly, Nikita feels like the sort of pro that is great. In my mind, Nikita seemed like the sort of pro that would be great at working with people that kind of are going to have eyes on them and that need a partner who is capable of handling very specific circumstances. So in my mind, I really went back and forth on whether Nikita would be a good fit for Lavoie or for Ellie. I think Nikita would be great with both of them. But I kind of looked at the various pros that could be with the two of them, and I thought that Nikita would be a better fit with Ellie compared to other pros, and I thought that other pros would be more capable of being with Lavoie. So I went with Ellie and Nikita. I think Ellie should be good on this show and will have a slew of fans who are voting every week. I think that from that perspective, all will be well. And I suspect that this will be a pairing that works, and I think most people are expecting Ellie to do well.
Fair enough. Dizzy, anything that Jeter didn't say? Go on.
No, I kind of had the same thoughts. That I think Nikita would be a very good supportive partner for someone that's going to have a lot of attention on them. So I kind of had the same kind of thoughts on that partnership.
Okay. I mean, I think also worth mentioning that Ellie, in some of her press releases, actively said that she hopes she's paired with Peter. Doesn't necessarily mean that they'll get her what she wants, but my suspicion is they probably will. But we'll see. Cass, you have gone for our late sign up, Lewis, and you've partnered him with Alexis. Why?
I mean, the pro was really kind of a random draw. I think that's what kind of most of us did. Um, I think he'll place top 5. I think he seems like he's got a decent dance background. I don't know where in the top 5, like that is, so, but I think I'm close to where he'll be. I think he'll be up towards the top. So, yeah, that was pretty much my logic.
Perfect. Right, on to 4th place. And yeah, I mean, I'm very much agreeing with the Ellie Nikita matchup. I have that pairing 1 place higher. Then we have a real mix. Dizzy, you've agreed with me and put Lavoie with Kai. You've got them coming 4th. Talk me through it.
I think a lot of it is kind of echoing what you said. It could backfire with the Christmas special in mind, but I kind of thought, well, it made sense. Yeah.
Perfect. Cass, you also agreed with me from one of the pairings that I said from earlier. You've gone for Balvinda Katja. You've got them coming 4th. What's your rationale?
I think Balvinder, she came across as somebody who may have a lot of innate grace. And especially, with her background in the soap, where she's famous for being a part of a lesbian couple, it made sense to pair her with a female. And Katya, actually, like, the biggest reason I paired them together is because Katya was a part of I think it was the first same-sex pairing on the show.
Yep.
So it made sense to put her with Balvinder because she already has kind of that history, and she's probably not going to break up that marriage. So, if there is one.
Very fair.
Now that I hear more about her, that makes a lot more sense even now.
And then Gita, you've gone for George with Diane.
Yeah, I really wanted to put George higher. Like I really, really did. And I think that this would be an exciting pairing. I think George, there's 2 questions for me surrounding George. One, how much are people who are, I feel like the community that he comes from is not the community that I would typically associate with Strictly. So is he able to get his fan base and the fan base of his friends, etc., voting for him? And then does he have the ability to dance? I think that he probably will have 1, maybe 1.5. If he had 2, I'd make him a real winner threat. But I think that compared to some other people, either people won't show up from, the footballing YouTube community as much, or he just isn't quite as good of a dancer as some of these other people. But I really would not be surprised if George won. And I think that Diane, would make sense as a partner here.
Okay, on to 3rd place. Right. I will start on this one. I have paired Lewis and Johannes. Now, am I confident on this being same-sex pairing? Not like mega confident, but I will talk you through my logic, which is that Lewis obviously came in for Christian Nan. Christian Nan is openly gay. He's also very, very tall. I believe like 6'10" or something. And it made sense for me to partner him with Johannes, who is both tall and gay. Bringing Lewis in, I looked into Lewis, and Lewis is playing or was playing a gay character on Emmerdale, which makes me think possibly he is gay himself, though I couldn't find anything that proved that either way. So it would make sense to me that if they were trying to replace Johannes's partner because they wanted Johannes involved because like he's one of the most popular, it kind of makes sense to me that they've just one in, one out rather than rejigger all over the order. Could be very wrong. Lewis could be dancing with a woman. I could look ridiculous, but that's what I've gone with. Then, due to you also have Lewis coming third, you've partnered him with Javita.
Yes. I think for me, I did a little bit of background digging on Lewis, and I'm glad I did because I had to shuffle some things around after I did, because Lewis is a better dancer and has more of a dance background than I think I initially realized, and I think in a meaningful way that might be, relevant to the show and might kind of help with performance. I'm trying to find it, but I believe, yeah, Lewis as a child was runner up, or not child, I don't know, but was on Got to Dance and has been in a dance troupe before, which is more than some other people on the show can say. As we've talked about, it doesn't mean just because you've danced before, it doesn't mean it'll translate to being able to do ballroom, but it doesn't hurt in most cases. And yeah, as far as pairings, I don't know. I just kind of thought that, similar to some of this, I thought Javita would have been a good partner for both Christian and also, therefore, for Lewis.
I mean, with Christian, that would have been very, very funny as a parent, given Javita was 5 foot.
Worked with Danny and Dwight.
Yes. No, it can work. Dizzy, you've also jumped on the George and Diane train. Any particular reason?
Yeah, I think I think it's a pairing that makes sense. She's been paired with, well, obviously is now, I believe, married.
Yeah.
I think they got married to Joe.
Yeah.
And I feel like George is a somewhat similar contestant to Joe. Hard to know what kind of, in terms of dance quality, what he's going to bring. He might be a kind of a bloomer as it goes on.
Yeah.
Of what I remember, Joe was a bit like that.
Yeah.
He improved a lot as it went on.
He did.
So I think it's a similar kind of contestant, and I think even though, in terms of their, if you compare Joe and George, it's a different viewership, I would say, to what they have, like their social medias. But if Joe could manage to translate it into Strictly and get popularity from it, I don't see why George can't either, to be honest. Particularly if he's still called the kind of underdog bloomer, as you could kind of call it, that ends up garnering more popularity as it goes on.
Cass, you've gone for Danny and Julian to finish third.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they both, like, they seem like they'd be, like, they'd look nice together. They also both seem like they're happily married, which is always a positive thing. I mean, yeah, like that. It was really that I thought Danny was definitely going to hit top 3, and Julian seems like he's got a good background to pair with that. So that's Danny. Danny seems like she's expected to do very well. So.
Right, move on to second place. We are so near finding out our winners. However, for second, I have also jumped on the George and Diane train. It is, I think, the one partnership that.
Involved
No,
with
it's not.
All of us.
It's okay. It's not the only one. But we'll come to that in a second. Yeah, George and Diane. I think everything's been said. Obviously, the only other YouTuber that has been on the show is Joe Sarg, now married to Diane. I think it would be a neat connection. I don't think George has a dance background, so I agree he could be a late bloomer. But he was I think he played rugby and hockey at county level. I think so. Like he's got some physicality to him. Cass, you've gone on the Ellie Nikita train. I think we've exhausted that one to death. So move on from
Yeah.
that one. Interestingly, Dizzy, somehow you've gone for the same combination again as Jeter and gone for Lewis and Javita. Any particular reason?
I think I struggled because I was kind of, I don't know, I didn't think, I'm not sure how much logic really went into the partnership. I was more thinking about Lewis.
Okay.
Because I think he's going to do well
Mhm.
with his dance well, not necessarily dance background, but his background in theatre and such. But
Yes.
I struggled to think of who his partner would be, and I think I remember I left that one blank for a bit,
Okay.
but that's where it ended up. But to be honest, I didn't even consider who he replaced when I was doing it.
Yeah.
To be honest, I kind of forgot that aspect. So
That's fine.
hey ho.
Cheetah, you have gone for Lavoie to be paired with Gorka.
Yes. I think I mentioned this, that I thought that a couple different people would be capable. I thought that more people would be capable of being with Lavoie. And I don't know, something about Gorka just kind of seemed to me like he'd be perfectly comfortable being with someone in drag. And would be perfectly capable of dancing in that partnership, and would be a very capable choreographer in elevating what the dancing looked like and competing. Gorka's one of the better pros on the show, in my opinion, and I think would benefit Lavoie, who I think also has background in performance and dance, and is definitely a contender to take home the title.
Perfect. And then we come to our winner picks. And interestingly, Dizzy's changed up his tactic of agreeing with Jeter. He's decided to agree with me instead. I went Danny and Gorka. My logic for pairing them together is Gorka is the shortest male dancer. Danny is the shortest female contestant this year. Danny just got married. Gorka is very much Strictly's wife guy, in inverted commas. He met her on the show and is besotted. So, and I think Danny will have the right balance of a little bit of dance experience, probably growth through it, will come with a reasonable following, I think. And the public loved Gorka as well. So, Dizzy, is there anything that I didn't say in that you want to cover?
I don't think so. I think I agree. There's also obviously the reality TV aspect again, but I think she's probably more like if you compare her to Vicky.
Yeah.
I think she's got more of a kind of a broad popularity.
Yeah.
I just think I would like the top three. I kind of have a bit, it could be any order, but
Yeah.
I thought, to be fair, I did kind of look and I thought I kind of flip flop between Gorka and Vito, but I had a feeling that Vito might not have a partner this year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'd be surprised if Vito didn't have a partner, but I was really surprised that Kai didn't have a partner last season. So who knows?
I mean, to be fair, Z, you've not got Vito with a partner.
Yeah, I
so-
think it's really funny that you've said you'd be surprised and you haven't picked them.
Oh, I.
Well done.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, no, you're right. Look, believe me, I'm surprised by my own answers. Yeah, I don't know. I would genuinely be shocked if Vito doesn't have a partner, but apparently
No.
I couldn't find who to pair him with, so he doesn't exist. So
I
yeah,
suppose
maybe.
that there is that as well. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure who I would have paired him with,
Yes.
looking at everyone.
I don't know.
Schrodinger's veto.
I mean, Gita, you put Vito with Danny. Was there any particular
Yeah,
reason?
I agree with your logic on Danny as a potential winner. I just think Vito is a really impressively talented dancer, and I think it would make sense to put someone like Danny with someone who is so capable. You know, you're going to take someone who is, a potential contender to win, and you want to make sure that they don't get stuck. All of these pros are very capable, but you want to put the people who, are most favored to win with people who are going to be able to really elevate them and make them better dancers. And I think that would be a potentially strong outcome of this pairing.
Perfect. And the only person to disagree with us thinking Danny wins is Cass, who thinks Alex is going to win with Neil. Be honest, how much of this was just because you'd heard of Alex?
So actually, no. That was not the only. That was not the only. Hang on. Okay, so now I'm gonna walk you through why I actually feel fairly confident about this one, and
Okay.
the reason is, first of all, Alex probably has the biggest international fan base of any of them.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of people in my life who are very, very into Doctor Who.
Mhm.
And the thing is, Alex is incredibly graceful. And can have charisma with pretty much anybody.
Mhm.
And she's got a lot of background in performing from a young age. I really think that even though she's older, you cannot underestimate her skill, and you also can't underestimate how talented she is, because as a performer, she is incredibly talented. And I'll point you to in a later section, I actually have other things that go into that, but I think she's gonna surprise you guys. I actually think that based on what I know about her and her background, I actually think that she might be the one that you guys are the most off on. Because I think that she's going to bring in a massive fan base, because Doctor Who has a huge fan base, and she's been she was pretty integral in
Yeah.
in the heyday of Doctor Who, with two of the most popular doctors. So, anybody who was into Doctor Who would know who she is. And she was very, very popular. So, yeah, that's kind of my logic, is the fan base combined with her history. I think she's going to be, and actually I looked at other websites that had her predicted to be up very high.
Okay.
So,
That makes sense.
I'm excited about her.
I mean, I'm excited for everybody except Tom.
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, then, those are how we see the season going in terms of placements. Let's switch to our miscellaneous screen to find out the odds and ends. As you can see, Cass has rejoined in her car because she needs to go and pick up her kids, and this recording has overrun a little bit. But we will crack on with our miscellaneous section, and we start with the first 10. Now, scoring for this. If you get the week that the 10 paddle is seen for the first time, you get points. You can double or halve the points benefit you get if you say a specific name alongside it. So you don't have to. It's a bit of risk and reward. Let's see what people have decided to do for first 10. Okay. Cass has got
Oh, dear.
confused. Cass has put a name.
I didn't understand it. You said, asked for a name. It didn't say when. It said first.
Cass,
Dear.
we're struggling to hear you some of the time. What week would you like us to put for you?
Let's do week 3.
Week 3. Okay, fine. I have a feeling I'm going to be correcting multiple things if that's how this has started, but we'll find out. I mean, aside from well, actually no, I'll stick with Cass. Cass, why do you think Danny will get the first 10 of the season?
I think she's got a really good shot of just being a good. I think she's going to be a really good dancer, and I think that she's going to catch on relatively quickly. So I would not be surprised to see her get the first 10 of the season.
Okay, perfect. The rest of us, we all agree on week 4. I think week 4 is just a fairly solid guess for what will happen. So I don't think we all need to come in on this, but what we do need to come in on is Jeter going for the risk reward. Jeter, you have chosen Lewis to get the first 10 of the season. Any particular reason?
I don't know. It was just kind of like when I was thinking about people who come in with some sort of dance background. I think that you're most likely to see a 10 first from someone who knows what they're doing in the ballroom.
Yeah.
Especially if, they're getting the sort of dance style that they are familiar with.
Yeah.
I also kind of figured that I went near the middle. So by going for a risk, I kind of went like, I thought 4, clearly my expectation was correct that a lot of people went week 4. I kind of went, well, there's a good chance that like other people are in or around me. If I double my points, that's great. If I half them, like, oh, I'm going to go from like a 2 or 2 down to a 1,
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like kind of the risk to reward on doubling versus halving was worth it, especially on one that I felt I'd be more in the middle.
Okay, perfect. Let's move on to the first 40. Exactly the same scoring and metrics. Can't wait to find out what Cass has put. Yeah, okay. Cass is once
That's
again.
when you'll have to correct.
Yeah, okay. Cass, what week do you think the first 40 will appear?
I think that'll be 5 or 6. So maybe 6.
Okay.
We'll go 6.
Right, you're going 6. I mean, you've also gone
I'm
for.
so confused.
You've gone for.
You've gone for someone that's coming 9th in your world.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Again, I forgot he exists. I think he's another one that I kind of sucker the pooch on. We'll see.
Brilliant.
Oh, excellent. I mean,
Yeah.
it means that all of us, all of our answers in a row. Cass has gone week 6 with a bonus. Jita week 7. I've gone week 8. Dizzy's gone week 9. All of us have not got put a name down. Dizzy, you said week 9 is you're sort of waiting the longest. Any particular reason?
Because Craig is a stingy prick.
I mean, yeah, very fair. Succinctly put. I mean, I've gone week 8 because week 8 is Blackpool week. Often the first 40 comes out in Blackpool week, but we'll see. Next we've got number of 40s. How many overall across the season? How many dancers will score 40? And right, okay. Myself, Dizzy, and Jita have all gone for 7, the exact same number. I mean, I went for 7 because it's how many there were last season. Did either of you? Okay.
I went for lucky number 7.
Oh, Dizzy went for his lucky number. Jita just looked and copied like I did. Excellent. Cass, you've
Also original.
yes. Cass, you've gone lower. Any particular reason, or just bump for a number?
Just gone for a number. I mean, you never know. There's not very many dances typically in a season that are perfect. And I think that with the caliber of dancers being so high this season, I feel like the overall caliber is high. I think they're going to be stingier with the higher scores because they'll expect.
Interesting. We will see if that works out. Next, we go to most bottom 2s. This is how many times will the person who finds themselves in the showdown be there the most? It's very hard to explain. If you watch Strictly, I'm sure you understand it. But if we reveal that one, come on, mouse, behave. Okay, excellent. Cass has once again just put a name. You've said Karen. How many times do you think Karen will be in the bottom 2, Cass?
I think probably 4. I'm gonna go 4 bottom 2s. Yeah.
Okay.
Go. I've prices right at everyone.
Yes, you have indeed. Well, you've only prices righted everyone if it's lower. But yes. Cass has gone for 4 and Karen. I've also gone for 4. I've gone for 4 and Lavoie. My logic is, I think Lavoie will be good. I don't know whether the Facebook mums will take to a drag queen. I think they'll object. So I think she'll struggle in voting and then do, like, the judges will save her because, you know, they just look at the dancing. Jita went low with 3. I mean, I don't think I spent too time on this, so we'll go to the next one. The next is the Dave Arch one. Literally just a joke one, this one, really. This is how many times will Claudia make a reference to Dave Arch in some kind of pervy way. So this does not include her just telling the audience to give a round of applause to Dave Arch and the band. This is specifically her hitting on Dave Arch. Values we've got. Jita has gone low with 5. I feel like I'd be surprised if it's that low. The rest of us kind of in agreement. Cass has gone 10. Dizzy said 13. I've said 14. I feel like it's almost once a live episode. There is a reference to Dave Arch when I think about it. So,
Yeah, I had no idea. I didn't have any ability to fact check this. Like, this isn't the sort of thing where I could go like, oh, here's how much they did it last year. So I plunked a number that seemed about right.
Next we come to terms.
Seemingly, I was wrong.
I mean, you might not be. Who knows? Next, we come to terms and conditions. Strictly fans will know that every live episode, somebody comes out from behind a golden, sparkly curtain to read the voting terms and conditions. It's usually a super fan or somebody with something to plug. So let's see who everybody has gone for.
As if we've actually both done that, see?
Yeah, I'm so okay. So Jeter and I, from the whole universe, have picked the same person, although I've spelt his name wrong and Jeter hasn't. Yeah, I went for Alan Cumming because it's Claudia that introduces the person from behind the sparkly curtain. Claudia presents our version of Traitors. Alan Cumming presents the American version of Traitors, and I thought there might be some kind of crossover. And hello, Chloe Cat. Jeter, anything to add on that?
I had the exact same logic, especially considering Traders is early 2026.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that, especially as we get later on in the season, there'd be a very good chance that they'd be promoting it. And Mark Ballas is also going to be on that season of Traders, and obviously with Shirley on the panel, it seemed like if I had to pick someone who was going to turn up, my best bet was probably someone who might actually have a reason to with a show that they were promoting, and this seemed like the one that was most likely.
Perfect. Cass, you said Matt Smith. I assume that's like a Alex Kingston Doctor Who crossover.
Yeah.
You're expecting.
Yes, I don't think I've ever seen a couple with that big of an age gap, especially where the female is older, with that kind of chemistry. So I think it would be really entertaining to see Matt Smith show up, and he seems like he's all over the place these days. So
Perfect.
would not be surprised to see him show.
Yeah. Dizzy. This is veering towards the territory of, if that's the right answer, I will let you win the whole episode. You've gone for Mark Bosnich. Is there any logic, or did you just try and think of the most random person possible?
No, I would guess, but I was already amused when the lineups came out that Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank was on it.
Okay.
So then I thought, you know what? I'm going to go on Wikipedia and look up the 2000 to 2001 Chelsea squad. And I'm going to pick what player out of that squad I would be most amused to see a cameo be made. And I went for Mark Bosnich.
Okay, perfect.
I said I did say I'm just going to go for someone funny because I don't know.
Yeah, you managed it. Right. We'll move on to casting vote. This is how many times will Shirley's vote decide the showdown, specifically with it being a tie. So if it's 2-2 amongst the judges, whoever Shirley chooses goes through. Okay, we've got an array. I've said it will not happen this season. That might be a bold prediction. It's happened. It's done that before, but we'll see. Cass, on the other end of the spectrum, you've gone for 3 casting votes. Any particular reason?
It seemed like a low number, but I don't think it'll happen very often. But I feel like it's going to be decent. Like, it might happen once or twice, but if I'm off I might be off by 1, but I don't think it's going to be too far.
Okay, perfect. Next we have guest judge. Will there be a guest judge this season? They do have them occasionally. We've had Donny Osmond, we've had Jennifer Grey, we've had Cynthia Erivo, we've had Alfonso Ribeiro. So, they do exist, but sporadically. Do any of us think that there will be one this time? Cass has once again misunderstood the question. and put a name.
I did.
I mean, I guess I'll put yes next to it then, because it would be very odd to say no
Yes.
and then put a name. Okay. I mean, I don't think we. If Derek Huff appears, it's obvious why Derek Huff appears. We'll leave it at that. Next, we have Weeks Missed. This is so often if contestants get ill or have a mild injury, they are allowed to skip 1 week in the competition to get better without penalty. How many weeks will be missed in total? Okay, Dizzy and I are on the low end with 1, Cass with 3, Gita with 2. Yeah, I mean, I think this very much comes under the category of none of us could possibly have the slightest idea. So it's just fun ones to pick up a few points on. We have Permanently Gone. Will anybody get an injury or have a personal issue or whatever bad enough they leave the competition entirely? Mouse, please behave yourself. Oh, I've managed to turn everything white. Excellent. How? I don't.
Instead of changing the text color, you changed the highlight.
Oh. There we go. I've done it now. This episode is such a mess, and I'm going to leave most of it in because I can't be bothered. Right. Cass, you're the only person to think that somebody will leave the competition through for medical reasons or otherwise. Any particular reason?
I think that well, I mean, first of all, like, I would not be surprised to see Tom leave because somebody makes some sort of an attempt on his life. Not that I would protest. Or finds him so obnoxious that they accidentally injure him. Neither one of those would be a surprise, but also I feel like a lot of seasons that ends up happening. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen here.
Okay. Fair. The rest of us have said no. And finally, the always chaotic part of every episode in an episode that itself has already been chaotic. It is the bonus part. Let's find out. No, don't do that. Let's try that again. No. I really need
Watching it happen live.
I really need to get a new mouse.
Do you want me to do it?
No, I think I've got it. But thank you. Right, there we go. So I'm going to start with Cass's, just because if Cass has to vanish, I at least want to get this done. Cass has said that somebody will lose a shoe during a dance at least once. I mean, random, very random. I think it is plausible but not likely. I definitely know that it has happened before, but I think only a couple of times. And these guys haven't been on any of these episodes, but we're being slightly different with the bonuses, that we're trying to punish long shots a little less. This is a holding mechanism whilst we work out something a bit different. I think that this is a very long shot, but not impossible. I have it kind of at like a high offer 10 and 10 and a low offer like a 4 and 4. Jeter,
Sure. Works for me.
okay. Busy,
Yeah, it's fine.
okay. So Cass, high offer 10 and 10, low offer 4 and 4. Which would you like?
I mean, contrary to what I normally do, I'm going to be conservative. I'll go 4 and 4 because I think if it happens, it'll be funny. If like, it is kind of something that as a viewer, like, I would be entertained by. But I don't think it's super likely, but worth taking a bet on, but maybe not a huge bet.
Fair
So.
enough. Dizzy, you have said that Anton will give the most tens across the series. Any justification?
I think generally he's the most. How do I put it? He's the most. Well, he's the most. I always feel like he's the most likely to give one. Although it can depend. Like, I think you could argue Moxie can be a bit like that as well. It can depend, but I think as a general average, as weeks go by, Anton can be a bit less critical for the small things than what the other three are. And I include Moxie in that. She'll notice things.
Okay.
I don't know. Anton can sometimes not really bring them up.
Yeah.
Well, he can, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of, when it's a so-called, like, you know what Craig's like, but like, if you compared Anton to both Moxie and Shirley,
Yeah.
they're both more likely to nitpick than what he is.
That's fair. I think for me, I would say Moxie's the most like to do this, but I do agree that Anton certainly pushes it pretty close. For me, I think it would be like a 6 and 6 or a 3 and 3. Cass, well, Cass, I'm assuming you don't have any thoughts because you haven't really watched the show well enough to know what the judges are up to.
Cass also looks potentially frozen.
Good. Excellent.
So I'd say, having seen a few episodes of last season and only that, I think that your judgment's probably pretty fair on that. They are, as judges, I think Motzi and Anton are close in who will give it. I could see it going either way.
Okay. So Dizzy, 6 and 6 or 3 and 3. Which would you like to take?
I'll go for 3 and 3.
3 and 3 for Dizzy. Right, let's move to Jeeta's. Jeeta has gone for Shirley giving the first 10 of the season. Any particular reason, Jeeta?
Yeah, I was looking at it and I kind of went, well, it won't be Craig. And I have, I don't know, it was just kind of some sort of feeling that Shirley might be the first. I think Shirley tends to be a pretty fair judge, but as you and I talked about, Z, she can have her moments where she gets excitable and is eager to overscore things. So I don't know. It feels like it could happen, but I'd also understand if it was anyone not named Craig.
For me personally, I think this is unlikely, but not impossible, because Shirley does get very excitable, especially if she has a crush
certain
on
contestants.
Yes. When she has a crush on one of the male contestants, she does get a bit high score happy. I think, yeah, I think this is doubtful, but within the realms of possibility. I think for me, this would be like, I'd say an 8 and 8 or a 4 and 4 is where I would be at. Busy? Any disagreement?
No, I think I agree.
Okay. Cass is nodding along. I can't really ask Cass much. I know that she won't have much of an opinion until after the season. But yeah, I'm going to say 8 and 8 or 4 and 4. Gita, what would you?
Let me gamble. Give me the 8.
You're taking the 8. Excellent. Love to see it. Okay, finally, my one. A dance Craig. That was loud. A dance Craig gives a 10 to will not get a 40. So basically, that is Craig getting his 10 paddle out and the other judges not all doing so. So I can tell you that this has happened 5 times in 22 seasons. So it does happen. I will also say
How many times did it happen with Arlene Phillips?
none.
None. Okay,
Every
that's
single
interesting.
time was either Len Goodman or Darcy Bustle that did not give a 10. I think it was 3 times with Len and twice with Darcy.
It's really interesting that it was Len.
Yes. But that does mean that under this lineup, it has never happened. So I'll let you talk through what you think of that in terms of scoring.
I think this is the most unlikely of the 4.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I want to reward Z should he want to gamble. So I'm thinking something like I think I had the highest offer at like, or no, Cass had the highest offer at like at what was it, 9 or 10?
10.
So
Yeah.
I'm willing to give Z a 10, which feels fitting given the question.
I agree.
But I think on the low end, because this is not risky, I'd also think to give like a kind of a pretty safe like 2 and 2, so that
Yeah.
you know he's stuck his neck out there. If he doesn't want to risk many points, either give
That's fair.
he can go big and go 10-10, or go small and go 2-2.
I agree.
Okay.
Is that fine with you before Z decides?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the thing. If I was like the last episode we did, I'm not very confident I did well in the rest of it. So I took the high offer just in the hopes of doing something interesting. I feel like I'm at least in with a chance of winning this episode, and I think ruining it with 10 off would be a mistake. So I'm going to take the 2 and 2, play it safe, and hope that does or does. I don't know if I hope it does or doesn't happen, but you know what I mean. But yeah, okay. That means we have gotten through our Strictly episode. You won't know this, but this has taken 2.5 hours to record, and I reckon we'll get rid of about an hour of it. But yes, final thoughts. Are you all looking forward to watching this season?
Yes.
Excellent. Busy?
When I can.
Dizzy is busy. Gita, will you be trying to follow along?
Absolutely. Where I can, I intend, you send me a bunch of the dances anyways, and I watch them prior to having a vested stake in what happens. I suspect that I will be more interested in what goes on now that I've got some skin in the game.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what the next episode is, but if you've enjoyed this episode, we will be doing one for Dancing with the Stars, which is obviously the American version. And yes, Dizzy and I will be attempting.
I'll be royally screwed.
Yeah, we'll be attempting to learn about like Mormon Secret Lives of Mormon Wives cast members. Yeah. This is
Let's go.
if Dizzy and I are like the bookies' favourites for this one, we will definitely not be for that one. But yes,
For the next.
keep an eye out for that episode and all the other episodes on the channel about all sorts of nonsense. Thank you again to these three idiots for joining me this evening.